on, Sha?
It's raining. It's
Yeah,
raining.
it is.
So that's of note. I was in it for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
why?
I just had to go to my office job for a couple of hours and it was raining. Raining and it was in the morning when kids are still in school, I guess. Here.
Yeah.
And so they're all on the train being children, which is to say being loud and everyone else is just hoping that none of the teenagers can see them, which they can't see other people in the morning. They only see them in the afternoon. We were all really safe. And then I'm not used to being on the train at that hour, so, it's a weird energy. I'm certainly was standing in a place that belonged to someone else who's on that train Monday through Friday. Mhm.
Right, right.
You stake it like, "Hey, when I'm on it, I stand here or I sit here." So wherever it was that I was standing, someone came over there and just kinda, ugh, and then had
You
like,
messed up the cipher. It's a
"So
routine.
sorry, I'm so sorry, but you gotta be able to adjust, sir," like, you can't get that married to a spot. So, energy was just weird. And it was late. It was very late too. So, uh, just a lot of stopping at every stop and people trying to cram on, and then the conductor making an announcement like, "Hey, there's another L train directly after this one. If you can't get on this one, wait for the next one." And
Yeah.
I don't know why they say that because we've been waiting on this one. And this one came after another one just a long time. So we don't believe you. That display has said 3 minutes for the past 12 minutes.
Amen.
And now you're like, "There's a note right behind." No,
Nah, B.
nah. I mean, it has to be behind you. This is the only track
That's how
for it.
trains work.
Yes, but that's not true that it's right behind.
I'd see it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It'd be honking. And then, of course, at a certain point, they were like, "Okay, we're not stopping at the next 3 stops. We're just going straight to Union Square," or whatever. And I was just like, "All right." So then people who, you come into the train and you gotta push into the middle. Now there are
Right.
people who are pushing into the middle who have to get off at one of those stops they're skipping. So now, once you finally understand what's being said, they're grabbing their stuff and trying to muscle their way out and not get stuck on the train that's gonna pass their stop. And we all got wet umbrellas. It was a lot.
That's not ideal at all.
No, it's not, but it's just a day. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I listened to the Jacksons while I did it. It
Hell
was
yeah.
okay.
I'm sorry you got caught in the rain.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, there was no way around it. Like, it's gonna rain for the next few days.
yeah. It's
And
like 3
so,
days of this. I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, I tried to get in or out while there was a small amount of rain. Um,
Okay.
but when I got off of the train and got out, there was a large amount of rain.
Oh
And then when
no.
I left the office, there was still a large amount of rain. So I was
Man.
just like, "Oh, okay." So, you just like, "All right, I'll be wet."
Yeah, you just pivot.
Yeah, but luckily, um, no drops of rain hit me on the back of my neck, which actually makes me wanna kill other humans when that happens.
Okay.
I hate that so much, and it didn't happen. So, honestly, not a bad day in the rain.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a bright side.
Yeah.
No murder.
That I didn't wanna murder? Yeah, that's good, that's good.
I mean, I feel like we've had a few too many months of dryness. So like just like uh for environmental reasons, I'm happy that we're having a bit of rain this week.
Right?
We've had some fires in New York. Obviously, LA went through what they went through. So like I am happy to see that there's some rain in general. Gabby's super excited. She got all her plants out, so they got like rain to kick off the week.
Great. It's
Um,
raining for the next 2 weeks.
oh, okay. Maybe a little too much for the plants.
Yeah, I feel like it's, Yeah, by Saturday, she's gonna be like, "Alright, we gotta bring them back in, they're drowning out there." Um,
I didn't know that part. I thought it was like 2, 3 days or so. Uh,
I think it'll stop maybe by the end of this week, and then, we'll have a sunny day, and then it's right back to rain for a while. Now, this is all based on information I'm getting through, the apps on my phone, which I don't
right.
even know if we still have a national weather department to give that information, or the folks at, like, Weather Channel and Apple are just, just
Throwing
throwing
up
bones
numbers,
at the
yo.
wall to see what works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really wild to think of, like, no, because I don't I'm gonna be real, I haven't looked at a weather report
Mhm.
solid 2 decades. Like
What?
like a person, like, saying the weather,
Oh, sure.
I see, like, weather numbers,
Mhm.
like, on my phone when someone's like, "Hey, is it raining?" I'll look. But, like, I haven't seen someone announce the weather in years. Like, I know they exist because, like, my friends will send me, like, videos of, like, the hot weather person in, like, Brazil or something. So I know
Right.
someone's doing it, but, like, it's rare. So, like, to your point, I'm wondering, like, is there any accountability left? Because, like,
Uh,
at least that was the thing. Like, if somebody messed up, I could, like, yeah, I could be like, "Yo, he lied to me." Like, there's none of that.
yeah, there's accountability, but, as much as you wanna put it on the weather people, here's what they've been doing. They're saying, "This is based on our data from blah, blah, blah." So if it's wrong, don't come at me.
Yeah, let them be.
Yeah,
Them
that's
kids
them.
at MIT, they lied to me.
Yeah. But, so
Oh,
have you not watched, like, local news in a long time?
man, nah, I don't watch live TV.
What you say that like that's a strong decision you made.
Yeah, it's not a choice. It's just it's happened over time. Like, unless it's a sporting event, there's nothing live. Like, there's nothing like I used to, like, I remember growing up watching the news at 10
Mhm.
on WPIX.
Okay.
Sports games I'd see live. Um, Maybe I catch a parade like once a year in the morning. You know what I mean? All of that's gone. I don't see none of that, yo. Low key, you was at my crib for New Year's. I don't even
Right.
think that was live. Like the New Year's countdown, I felt like it was like a throwback New Year's. Like
No,
they
it
just
was
found something.
that was live.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, like, the name brand one. Here's the thing, if you're not watching, like, live or network television, um, if you're doing is streaming and whatnot, um, for New Year's, which I have been doing for a while,
Yeah.
um, they have, B-roll. They've got, like they got a whole B team, not just B-roll, they got a whole B team, and it's all on the, on the flip side of the stage. So if you look at the big stage in Times Square, right? You see
Okay.
where Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen are, right? And they're talking to all the people. Like, behind that and down a couple of levels, there's another stage on the back end. I don't know who they're performing to. Whoever was late or couldn't fit around the front end, they get the back end, and that's where you get, like, maybe a cover band, or you
Okay.
if they even have, like, room for a band on the riser. And it's like even the local news, not even like I don't know because I haven't watched New York local news because I haven't had that kind of TV. Um, but, like, I think it's still, like, when all of the main local news people are out and it's a holiday, there's, like, second string. I feel like it's all second string New Year's people. And they do a
Okay.
countdown, but nothing drops because 'cause they're behind, they're underneath and behind all the stuff, so you just hear it. Or it is like, oh, here's, ABC's Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve or whatever, but from a different side, and there's just one person with a mic like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna," it's much
I
uh,
love that.
yeah, well, that's what's so that might be what was going on, but there's no entertainment, or there's, like, feed of people like, getting ready to go on stage, but not actually on stage. It's a different thing.
Yo, low key, you might have inspired me right now, Sha,
To do what?
to host my own New Year's countdown, like
You
film it on.
absolutely could do it. It's nothing. That ain't
Yeah,
nothing. To do a live, if
do a
you get enough
live like Twitch.
yeah,
I'll
you could do that on Twitch for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
Imma hit
sure
up
that's
some
probably where
friends.
people were watching the most, honestly.
Real talk. I want to get some friends to like come do like hip hop sets, get some comedians, some
Pre-tape them.
musicians.
That's what Dick Clark and them do.
Yeah,
Yeah, all of
I
that.
thought they was coming out like
They tape the performances that aren't, like where the New Year's is. There's always like inside somewhere. Those are taped like in September. Like yeah, September, October is when they tape those.
you see the footage, you're like, yo, he's gained weight since then. I don't think he look
Yeah,
like that
right,
no
like,
more.
"Yo, that's not what her hair looks like anymore." Yeah, absolutely, and they do a fake countdown, and they show and they put that footage in, and then they just have a couple of people, like on-site live, I think, freezing.
Real talk. I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a whole production and do like a New Year's countdown. I'm gonna get some friends and fam involved, get some silly like New Year's talents.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I think I got some here.
Okay. Yeah, you and everybody else.
Real
But yes.
talk, yo. I'm gonna get like 34 people on Twitch.
Yeah, I
Come
mean,
watch.
sure, someone will watch.
It's
Are
gonna
you
be
on
fun.
Twitch?
I'm not. I should be.
Do you have a Twitch account?
I think I do. Like just like somebody like once talked about it enough that I was like, all right, I get this, but I don't like use it.
Right,
But
yeah.
I've been wanting to. I just don't know how to set up the streaming thing because like I want to play video games on it
Mhm.
from when I grew up because that's when I stopped playing video games. So I want to play
Right.
like uh Ninja Turtles Manhattan Project from Super Nintendo, like
Mhm.
stuff like that, and I want to stream me playing those games.
Oh, okay.
And I
Yeah,
know like
that's a whole different setup than what you've got now. You'll
yeah,
have
like
to
my
get
understanding is like you need like a second computer or like
yes.
the system has to be separate. So I haven't gone that far yet, but
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
vision for it eventually.
Yeah, you need a damn near a server room in
Yeah,
order
yo,
to do that right. Yeah.
it's gonna happen though. I got
Okay.
dreams.
Alright.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry you were caught in the rain though. I'm
Oh,
glad you
it's
dropped.
fine. It's totally fine. Made my peace with it, yesterday when I made the decision to come out.
Okay.
I was just like, "Okay, well, it'll be raining, but I'll be fine." I got a chicken from Wegmans and it made it fine. We're all good. Everybody's safe. It's not like it was a monsoon. I've been in much worse rain, you know?
Does it rain more here than in Atlanta?
Um, no. Well, no. I Atlanta does a thing where every day when it's warm, there's a thunderstorm that happens, like, every day,
Whoa,
like, around 3 between the hours of 3 and 7. Not all of those hours, but at some point between 3 and 7, there will probably be a pop-up thunderstorm.
that's what's up.
And then, by 9, it's evaporated, the ground is dry again. Like, depending on how hot it is. So every day there's just like a drive time, you know? So they don't even the long running joke is that, uh, in Atlanta, they put up the little sun, you know, like, "Hey, here's sun with a little bit of cloud," and then they put up the one where it's just like, "Sun, light cloud, dark cloud, lightning bolt," and they just put that up, like, late June, and they don't check on it again until mid-September. They're like, "We good. We don't
Let
need to
that run.
change nothing." Yeah.
Let that run. Yo, I always thought y'all had like a consistent like mist.
No, 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 it gets hot. I mean, it is when it's not raining, it's humid
Right,
and hot. Um But there's nothing cooling about it. Like, when the rain comes, it's not a relief.
right.
It's just adding to the humidity. So
Oh,
then
that's
it's,
no
like,
fun.
thick, and, it's a little swampy. It's not too swampy, but it's a little swampy, and then it kind of evaporates, but it's definitely not a dry heat. It's a wet
Huh.
heat, but it is hot. There are definitely days where it's like, "Oh, it's 9 AM and it's already 87 degrees." And you know what? A 9 AM 87 hits hard.
Hell
It
yeah.
hits very hard.
I
So,
would have got that so wrong shot.
yeah, no, it's not yeah, if you come with, like, some jackets or heavier things in the summertime, just like it's gonna I mean, it will rain,
Right.
but just, you know it will, and you could wait it out. Um, but yeah, but I mean, there are thunderstorms. You usually can smell it beforehand also. You can smell rain, right? You can smell rain?
I mean, Gabby can.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
but you can yeah. That tracks with growing, I imagine being here in New York because it doesn't feel like I mean, like, true thunderstorms, like thunder and lightning and
Yeah.
thunder and, like a big I those feel kind of rare. There was one time where I heard a huge thunderclap. I was asleep, and I heard a huge thunderclap, and I woke up, and I didn't know what it was, and I thought they were attacking us. Who are they? I don't know. And what made me calm down is I was like, why would they be dropping bombs in Bushwick?"
Yo.
And then I was like, "Oh, you know what? That was thunder." So, yeah, it's a it's been a minute. Um, so yeah.
Oh man, look at that. Learn something new. Yo,
Yeah.
real talk. On God, if you would have asked me, I thought like Atlanta looked like black people reenacting a notebook. Like it was just like a lot of like beautiful rain and and just a lot of love in the area. I don't know why. Just on God, that's what I'm picturing.
I mean, eh, maybe in parts. It is a green city. It's losing a lot of green because they keep putting up all these goddamn buildings, but
Word.
it was one of the greenest cities in that there were a lot of, like, trees just in, like, metro Atlanta, like, Atlanta proper.
Right.
Um, Even with, like, there are pockets of, like, buildings and whatnot, but the housing that's around it, you could get like a pocket of office buildings. There could be 5 or 6 in like a cluster, and then there's housing just outside of it, and it's all extremely green.
Right. Right.
So that can be the case. And I mean, it's a thing like I remember like going home for a visit, and I think it had just rained and maybe it was spring, like the tail end of spring, so
Okay.
there weren't a lot of blossoms, but everything was still seemingly very lush, and I just remember, like, being in a car going to wherever and just being like, "Everything is so green right now," and I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, it must have just rained," but yeah, like, it can look very, like, very much foresty, and there are a lot of, like, places where neighborhoods where behind the house is just like a a real scary thicket. You know what I mean? Just like lots of trees and vines and just right behind your house in a big old space, but it's all just covered in trees and it kind of goes down to like a little mini valley. And then on the other side of it is the back of the houses that are on the street over. But the space, there's enough for you to have a full like backyard, for them to have a full backyard, like an acre, and
Yeah.
then just thick, like forest shit with big trees and vines and stuff, and then you're built like there are lots of spaces like that, but
I'm telling Georgia's gonna end up getting me. I think. Real
I
talk,
mean,
yo.
it'll be Georgia or North Carolina, I think, for you.
Yeah, North Carolina already got some of my attention for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that mom and dad pushing NC heavy on me.
Mhm.
Um, if they made one misstep, they went too heavy North Carolina in general.
Okay.
Whereas like I was like, yo, if I go, it gotta be Charlotte. Like I'd be at least in the city. And
Right.
like my dad is like in Durham. Like most of his moves is in Durham. So I'm like,
Huh.
that's cool, but like that's
Yeah.
it's a
No,
little
you need
small.
you need more I mean, Durham is like I mean, it's a college town.
Right. Like
It's a the big college, but still a town.
it's still a town, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, like that's not really the energy I'm after. But I ain't against it either. It looks nice, and for like I've been there for a weekend to survive. Um, Atlanta I like, and I know Gabby got a lot of her homegirls that ended up moving down there, so
Sure.
she already feel good.
Everybody's homegirls moved to Atlanta.
Real talk, like yo,
Everybody
like her best
everybody got a
friend,
homegirl who moved to
yo,
Atlanta.
I was like, what? Like, yo, she went down there for a wedding, and like it became like an impromptu reunion. She's like, I knew like 17 people at this wedding party. She's like, yeah, we all live around here. And she came up here talking to me about like places in Atlanta, like she just discovered them. And she was like, yo, you been to Augusta? I'm like, it's on TV every time they go. Yeah, to Houston.
Is that where the wedding? What was that? Was
It was
she
like in between Atlanta and Augusta. So like some of the homies was coming from ATL, some
okay?
was from Augusta,
All
and
right.
like they rented like a house in the middle
Okay.
for like the family to stay at. So like
Gotcha.
they were splitting time between both, like to show out of towners, the cool parts of Georgia.
Right, right. Okay.
Just
Well, Augusta's like right on the state line between Georgia and South Carolina.
yeah.
And I have spent time my 1 year of college was in South Carolina.
Okay.
And I have an odd fondness for South Carolina because of that. That said, do not take your family to South Carolina. That mm-mm, don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, okay. I'll
Mm-mm.
skip that.
Yeah, nope. That's probably not the best. But but and I mean, yeah, but Augusta's another. It's it's a smaller town.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I mean, like if you want like space,
right.
Augusta's good, and it's not a bad drive from Atlanta to Augusta. It's not that bad at all. I mean, that's the other thing is, I don't know how you feel about driving,
I like
but
driving.
okay, good, because when you are in those states and you're going to other places, you just become accustomed to it, and you're like, "Oh, no, it's not a bad drive," and not a bad drive is like 2.5, 3 hours.
Right.
And you're like, "That's not a bad drive at all. Oh, yeah, I
That's
could do
cool.
that." Yeah, but here, people if you're on a train for an hour, you're like, "We have to break up." You know what I mean? So,
Yo,
that's
it's different. It's different.
yeah, that's why people are always just like, "Nah, I can't go all the way up there. That's like an hour ride." And I'm
Yo,
like, "You know what? Sometimes I feel you because you're not in control of it and you're just I get it. But then sometimes I'm like, well, I'll never see it in that way. So I have to go. It's not that bad. That's just a drive to Athens, you know?
yo.
And I would and you take those drives down there where you're just like, "Oh, I gotta run over to Athens right quick." That's an hour away and you're like,
Right.
"Right quick."
Mm-mm.
And that's literally what it is. Let me go on and go, "Let me run over to to Athens right quick, do this thing, and then just bring it on back." So
I can't.
you're looking at it different.
Yo. But like
Yeah.
now, so because of Gabby sending me like her friends be send her through houses on Zillow, and like my algorithm's off.
Mhm.
So like I'm getting all these like weird Georgia town names that I don't not even weird, but just I'm not familiar with them.
Right.
So like, I don't know where they are. So like I'm looking at literally these are the last four cities.
Okay.
Royston, Georgia,
Alright, alright.
Buford,
Mhm.
Georgia.
Yeah, that's actually not I wanna say it's not far from Atlanta, but it's closer than Royston is for sure.
Yeah. We got Flowery Branch.
Yeah, that's also Buford Rural. It's Swanee, Buford, Flowery Branch. That's all northeast, and it's not far from Lake Lanier.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
And I know you wanna,
Okay.
take your family to Lake Lanier. So
I
there's
love this. Okay. I can add that. Let me put a little heart emoji on that one.
Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, goodness.
Yo, but it's like it's been like and the other this is Alpharetta.
Oh, Alpharetta. Okay, yes. So that is also that is more Atlanta-ish than the others are for sure, suburbs.
Yeah, I
right?
could tell from the price. Like Alpharetta, the house is a full mill.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and then the other
Yeah,
joints
that's
was like 200 racks.
yes, no, that's yeah, that's completely right. Hold on, let me see where Royston is. I just have to look at the full state to see what we're talking about here.
Straight up, I'm just getting. They just sending me
Oh,
cribs
that's
in Georgia.
Royston is, yeah, that's all the way by that's very close to, South Carolina.
Yeah, they just sending me houses. They're like, yo, you like this?
It's yeah, it's north of Athens. Yeah, it's all the way up. Yeah, you don't wanna that's too far. That's not where you wanna be. I mean, you it's no, that's not where you want it. Not you might go crazy.
Yeah,
It
and that's how nice the houses look. Like there's the $200,000, $299,000 house in Macon or Macon
no,
by the
Macon. You're
water.
right, Macon. You said it the southern way, Macon.
Yeah,
Um, Macon is south of Atlanta, and it is its own metropolis. Like, Macon is a place, it's a thing.
straight up. You buy. She's like, you be by the water. You know
No.
what I mean? We can
What
pay for the whole
water?
crib
By
at
Macon?
once.
Where what water are you talking?
I don't know, but there's water on the house.
Okay. I mean, you'd be by a lake,
Yeah, probably that.
but, yeah. I don't know about Macon.
It's just like what's throwing me on. Like I be showing Gabby shows me the pictures. It's
Uh-huh.
beautiful houses. They're
Right.
like they're like brand new, just
Yeah.
made. They still
Yeah.
and I'm like, I was like, honey, like I want you to know that like this beautiful house, fully painted in pearl,
Mhm.
that you love. If there's no people there, it's gonna start looking like a mental facility to me. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
absolutely
feel
will.
by
They're
myself.
yeah, they're built I mean, I don't know how many I who's to say? I mean, at this point, so many people have probably been priced out of Atlanta that have had to move out to these cities now
Yeah,
that, there may be more people, and so gradually maybe more stuff will happen, but, I mean, I'd say right now they're still in the growing pains of that. I'm betting that's probably what happened is that a lot of folks are just like, well, shit, I'll just go to Macon." And I bet people will move to Macon and just make the drive, you know what I mean? That's
right.
probably like, I don't what do we think, people? Like, 2 is that an hour and a half, 2-hour drive maybe to
That's
Macon?
brutal.
Depending on how heavy your foot is. But I mean, but people will absolutely make that drive. I
I'll do it
definitely have
once a
worked
week.
with
I
yeah.
ain't doing that 5 days. You
Oh,
wild.
I've worked with people who drove from, uh, Cartersville to, Atlanta, like, 6 days a week. Like,
Yeah,
and
nah,
that was easy an hour drive. Um
you ain't working for your family. You working to get away at that point. Like you like, yo,
No, that's
I
a
need
family
space.
affair. That's what they were doing. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, there was a regular customer at the video store who, drove from Macon, 2 to 3 times a week to get his movies.
As so you got a niche product. It's different.
It wasn't I mean, there just wasn't much choice. I hope he'd have it in his pocket now. But yeah, we called him Macon Man.
That's
The
awesome.
nicknames are very simple. It wasn't always and sometimes it was just, "Oh, here comes Macon Man." I think
Oh
maybe because
man.
he always came in, he's like, "I came all the way from Macon," and we're like, "No one made you do that."
Yo, shots to making man, yo. Real talk, yo.
No, no shot to Macon Man.
Making man, if you're out there listening, I appreciate you. Okay.
I hope you're not listening because that means you found me, and that's the worst thing in the world.
A dedicated fan. That's what I heard. Okay.
Nope. I don't know if I'd call them a dedicated fan if they found me and they were my customer at the porn store from, like, 25 years ago. Yeah, buddy. Mm-mm. We got
Oh
a
man.
problem. We need to have a sit down. We
Real
need to
talk.
talk. We need to
About
talk
how
if you're
you
doing
can
that.
stay this many feet away from me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because I will for sure. If there's anything that I definitely know how to do, it's cuss out them damn customers from that store. Yeah,
Oh man,
I'll
I
cuss you
love
out.
it. Shouts to Georgia in general.
Mhm.
Shouts to the rain. You know what I mean? Shouts to my new slightly clearer idea of what Georgia is.
Yeah, slightly clearer, but we'll
That's
get you
it.
down there. We'll get you
Real
down there.
talk. I gotta make my way back. It's been too long. But I was picturing beautiful black love in the rain. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that's
no,
cool
that's
too.
probably happening. It's not looking like The Notebook. It's probably
That's all I
looking
saw.
more like like a '90s R&B video.
Okay, okay,
It's probably a little closer to that, but
okay.
it's happening. Trust me, there is black love in the rain happening.
Hell yeah, yo. That's beautiful. Shouts to that Chris Brown video.
No,
You know
not
what I mean?
that. Oh, good lord. Wait, which one? Does
Oh
he
no, I
have
think all of them, right?
I don't know. I mean, no, we ain't out there dancing like that. I can say that. Not all of us. A lot of us are, though. A lot of us are dancing like Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's get into the news.
Alrighty.
Uh, Kathy Pacific apologizes after 3-year-old was served white wine on its flight.
Wait,
That's
hold
right.
on. Is it Cathay?
Cathay.
I don't know. It feels like it's Cathay. Anywho,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, it's a London, it's in London's Cathay. I like that.
Alright.
Yeah. 3-year-old was mistakenly served a glass of white wine on Cathay Pacific flight on the night of April 24th, prompting his parents to share the incident on social media. The family was seated in business class cabin on a flight from Hong Kong to London when the boy's mother, Miss Wong, reported to media outlets. After taking a sip of the alcoholic beverage, which the boy thought was water, he told his father that it was sour. His parents then tried to drink and realized it was white wine. They immediately alerted a flight attendant who allegedly just apologized, took the white wine, and served the child water. Ms. Wong raised the incident with another senior crew member who subsequently found a French doctor on the flight to check on the boy. The doctor assured the mother that the boy displayed no symptoms from consuming alcohol and would be fine. Recounting the incident, Ms. Wong expressed concern over the potential long term health issues from the incident. We understand that alcohol consumption in young children can have delayed neurological and developmental and physiological impacts that may not manifest immediately. She added that they are arranging for medical assessments with a pediatric specialist. The airline apologized to the couple for the incident and offered a refund of the child's ticket with 3 one-class upgrade vouchers to cover the cost of the medical checkups.
Stop. Stop. Open the schools for the parents. What are we talking about? Your child took a sip of white wine, said, ew, gross. They checked and they were like, oh, our bad. Here's water. And you're worried that your child is slow from a sip of wine? You made
Yo,
them say, is there a doctor in the house on a plane? Because your child took a sip of white wine.
I got a theory.
Oh, okay. What's your theory?
I got a theory. I think the dad is a workaholic.
Okay.
Okay, he's in some shitty investment banking field or something. You know what I mean? He doesn't even deal with the kid. Okay,
Okay.
all right. The mom, day to day with the kid in the trenches. She
Mhm.
knows. I know my husband is expecting a smart kid. He not that smart. He not dumb. He's just fine. Regular kid, regular ass kid.
Okay.
Okay, and they tried to put him in some specialized school. He didn't get in. He got into regular school. Regular
Mhm.
kid. Dad disappointed. You know what I mean? This was the mom's way of pinning that so that the dad could feel better about himself. Dad was like, yo, I thought I had smart genes. I thought I had a smart kid, my kid regular. The mom found it out. Okay. She's trying to make the dude feel better about himself. So she said, no, my kid was smart, but now that he had this wine, he's had problems. He can't pass tests no more. You know what I mean? This was a big pivot so that emotionally the dad could sell this story instead of my kid is just a regular dude. He's
Mm.
gonna be a plumber. You know what I
Okay.
mean? He's
Okay.
gonna do a blue collar job that like is completely necessary in this world, but not what we expected.
Right, right.
you know?
That is almost as crazy as what actually happened.
Exactly.
That that rationale is insane.
I was trying to put I was trying to put myself in the shoes of someone that sees the world in such a weird way
Right.
that they would call a doctor over a sip of wine.
I mean, I yeah. I think the weird way is, maybe everyone is, uh, what do they say? I feel like right now the scuttlebutt is, younger people, uh, are judgmental, but also don't live.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got a lot to say about how other generations have lived and how they're doing it wrong, like all young people do.
as it
Um,
yeah.
and, uh, and they're just like, "You're doing that wrong. That's not how we say it. That's not how we do it." But then they also don't live. They don't go out. They don't, everyone is very sheltered in general because we've put ourselves into our phones, and that is how we interact. So, it's possible that that's the case. I I can only assume that the mother, um, did not have, that person in the family who would, at family gatherings, let the little kids drink a little bit of their beer.
Ooh, vital person.
Yeah, very important person, because
Real
it
talk.
lets you know as a child whether or not it's your thing.
Real talk. Shasta
I
Moreno.
I absolutely remember my uncle having a glass of something. It might have been wine, it might have been I'm not even sure, but it was alcoholic, and, e uh, giving it giving it to me and my sister for a sip. "Here, you have a sip." And I tasted it and I was like, "Yuck."
Real
And my
talk.
sister was like, "Okay." And that was it. That was it. No, I'm not saying my sister's a drunk, I'm just saying she appreciates wine.
Right.
She appreciates, like, and I only recently I struggle through a glass of wine. Unless it is mixed with Snapple, I really can't get it down. So, now either there was someone in this woman's family who, did not give wine to the kids, or there was someone in this wo who definitely gave wine to the kids. That's why she's worried. I would consider that perhaps, she comes from a full tree of, winos, and
Okay.
like, "Oh, we can't not to the kid that's so young."
That's fair.
Either way, though, I don't think that brain damage from drinking alcohol when you're 3 happens instantaneously, and
Yeah, I don't think it's a one sip thing.
and I don't think you're gonna catch it, like, before it gets spread to the rest of his body by grabbing a doctor, a French doctor on the plane.
Now we caught the alcoholism at the root. You know
Right?
what I mean? Before it took.
Like, I it's very I that's so wild, and then I don't know what else she wanted them to do. I mean, that they were willing to go ahead and like, "Alri I mean, I guess we'll find you a doctor," but I hope that their tone was like, "I mean, I guess." Oh, absolutely, and look, I know how important customer service is, and I'm sure that if I had some crazy request and they looked at me sideways, I'd be like, "Whatever, fuck y'all," but I'm also kinda like, "Ma'am," as someone who's worked a lot of customer service, "Really? Really, lady? Alright, is there a doctor? Is the guy and you're gonna trust this guy who said he was a doctor on the plane, that he's an
Yo.
actual doctor? Did you look at credentials? Look at credentials if you're worried about your child suddenly becoming, like, I don't a drunk." Like,
You
it's
know,
not. At 3, that's not the problem. The problem is 3 months. If you are 3 months pregnant and you're drinking, okay, now we got issues. But if he's 3 drinking, I mean, He'll walk it off.
Yo, what if, yo, Sha, what if the kid was just being annoying?
What do you mean?
They were like, yo, we gotta shut this kid up, B. We talked to the parents twice.
Oh, and they slipped him wine
He
to
slipped him
get him
some wine,
drunk?
like, yo, just, you
Th
know what I mean?
Well, then they should have just given him Benadryl like you're supposed to do for a child. I don't know if
Exactly.
that's right. Don't come after me, everybody. But I feel like half a Benadryl will knock out any cat, dog, or child on a plane. And that's what you gotta do.
Yo, real
That's
talk though, war report, going to the vineyards, bringing bottles
mm-mm.
of Snapple for Sha.
No, I don't think there's enough. I don't drink that much liquor in a week. And
Yo,
I know you're not even supposed to drink it, you're supposed to spit it out. I'm not good at spitting. I don't spit in public. Like, there are so many reasons for me to not go to a
that's
vineyard.
yo, yo, we gotta do this. And I'm assuming there's vineyards in Georgia. They gotta be.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there are.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
vibe on it.
Chateau Elon.
There you
Yes,
go,
that's
there
the
you
big
go.
one, but I don't like wine.
But the vibe, you don't even need to drink like that. Just
I
chill.
don't the vibe you know what the vibe is? It is not fun if you were not drunk, is what the vibe is. So, for you, the vibe is like, "Yeah, we're all relaxing, we're all drinking, everything's great." For the people who aren't drinking,
Yeah.
it's tedious. It's tedious. It ain't that much fun.
Oh man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had a blast. I go every year.
Yeah, I know, you had a great time, and the
Real
people
talk.
who are drinking, you're all having a great time. But if for
Yo.
some reason there's someone there who doesn't drink, first of all, they have, like, nothing for you. I'm like, "You don't even have ginger ale in the back?" They do not. They
Nah,
do
B, they
not.
don't.
That's why I don't go to vineyards, I don't go to breweries because I hate beer. I mean, I could maybe tolerate a little bit of wine, but I hate beer.
Yeah, beer ain't
So,
my thing like that.
yeah, so forget about it. I think I went once to a cidery where they make cider,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, "Oh, okay, that's actually I could see that being something at least it's not beer and not, you know." And then there was, like, a vodka distillery place that was, like, in Gowanus or something that used to someone used to throw shows there or something.
Yeah.
And there you could get, you could get, like, a shot of vodka, and I was like, "Now we're talking." But I don't even like vodka. Vodka just has kinda, like, no taste,
No taste,
and
yeah.
so you can just knock it back. When I drink, it's usually a shot, and it's so medicinal. They're just like, "Is there any flavor you want? No, or any time?" And I'm like, "Nah, honestly, take the mat and just pour that in a shot glass. I don't care. Chill it, don't chill it, I don't care. What I care about is the ginger ale that you're about to give me after it.
Amen.
This is just to make the ginger ale taste better." And now I do that with whiskey because whiskey tastes like burning, and then I can use ginger ale to put it out. I'm really just trying to enhance the flavor of the ginger ale. So, I don't really do wine. I I drink like someone who's been at sea.
I seen some things.
I've seen some things, give me 2 shots and the biggest Sprite you have, and that's how I drink.
You know what I've been through, soldier.
Yeah, give me 2 tablespoons of rot gut, and then I'll take a Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ugh.
In other news, carnivorous bone collector caterpillar dresses in the remains of its prey. Yo,
Wait, have we
that's
talked about him
real.
before? No, we
I don't know.
haven't.
I didn't think we did, but we should. Uh, a new carnivorous caterpillar that wears the remains of its prey has been dubbed the bone collector. The odd insect is only found on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. It creeps along spider webs, feeding on the trapped insects and decorating its silk case with their body parts.
God damn.
Yo,
Yo, you stealing from spiders, son?
yo.
Golly. They did all the work. That's harsh.
That's
That's
yo, low key. This insect kind of remind me of Omar. Yo. You stealing from the spiders?
Oh
Yo.
my god. Oh. Oh, man. First of all, I hate that I even get that reference. Um, oh, man.
Yo, that's crazy. Be
That's
whistling when he
insane.
crawled through your web, yo.
Phone collector coming. Oh my
Yo, that's
gosh.
incredible. There are other meat-eating caterpillars that do lots of crazy things, but this takes the cake, says the study's author Dan Rubinoff at the University of Hawaii. Scientists think the case might act as a camouflage, allowing the caterpillar to feast on the spiders and snared meals without getting caught. A host of caterpillars native to Hawaii use silk glands to spin protective cases stubbed with lichen, sand, and other materials. This is one of the first to use the ants' heads and fly wings.
Oh, snap. Okay, so
Yo,
this caterpillar makes a case to cover themselves,
yup,
and usually caterpillars, that are in Hawaii use, like, silk to spin these cases, and then they just take, like, whatever natural things that aren't the animal, but this one is literally making a camo jacket with a fucking fly head on it.
real talk, yo.
Yo, this is insane.
Yo, low key, it might be a fashion thing. Like, you know how like people wear furs?
Look, let
He
me tell
went
you something. Can anyone out there make me a silk bomber jacket with pieces of fly wings and ant heads on it? I got $35 on it if you can.
real talk, yo. That's kind of wild, yo. Yo,
Man.
my coat. I rock a coat built to the heads of my enemies.
Yo, for real, like the bars that can come out of this caterpillar.
Real talk, yo.
Oh,
And he living it. He living it. You
he
can't say
really
he
is.
faking it.
Predatory caterpillars are extremely rare, and the bone collectors found in Hawaii will even eat each other? God damn.
Yo,
Okay. Yeah, this
I
really
want the
is the
body
wire.
parts you
This really
collected.
is the wire for caterpillars.
That is incredible. In other news, Trump's egg price fixation, which has been fiction to date, is suddenly becoming a reality. For months, Donald Trump has falsely claimed that egg prices are tumbling. It wasn't true then, but it's finally true now. Egg prices fell 12.7% last month, the biggest monthly decline since 1984. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported on Tuesday. They could continue to fall this month too. The USDA reported last week that a dozen large white shell eggs now cost $3.30 on average, down a whopping 69 cents from a week before. It's a remarkable reversal after egg prices surged in each of the past 5 months and 17 of the past 19 months because of a deadly avian flu epidemic that necessitated the mass culling of egg laying hens. Maybe the worst of the egg gate has passed, said Tyler Shipper, the associate professor of economics and data analysis at the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota. That is such a specific school. Yeah, my goodness. You go to USTISTP and my G. Yo, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I guess so.
Nevertheless, egg prices remain significantly higher now than before the latest bird flu outbreak, and they cost 49.3% more last month than they did a year earlier. Eggs are still more expensive than when Trump took office, according to the BLS. Egg prices this past Easter, which typically rise in the run up to the holiday, were the highest for any Easter on record.
You know what? I mean, great. I'm glad that the egg prices are going down. I hope the birds are feeling better. Whatever, the ones that lived through it. Although I don't know if they gave any bird a chance to live through it. As soon as a bird cleared its throat, I imagine they probably culled it. But I did not realize that they raised the price of eggs just before Easter. Like that to me.
Right? It's grimy.
That yeah. So honestly, this grime has really been on us for decades. Um, and it's so wild that in this story that it's just like um egg prices well they typically go up just before Easter, but this year they were the highest they've ever been. Hold up,
Yeah,
slow down. Why are y'all raising the
yeah.
so but I'm glad that the price at my I checked at my grocery store and they are back down to a reasonable $5 to $6 a dozen, which is still like,
That's wild still.
bitch. But it's better than the $12 a dozen it was the last time I looked, and then decided I don't eat eggs anymore. Huh.
Insanity. I always wondered, like, if the bird is infected with the flu and it lays an egg, does every egg it lays have the flu? Or is it like, you know what I mean, some of the eggs get the flu?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, once they determined that a bird had the flu, they killed the bird and probably disposed of whatever eggs.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why I say if a bird went, it's like, uh-oh, that's it, get him out of there.
Nah, that was a loogie.
No,
You know what
I
I
was just, I was trying to get their attention. I didn't want to.
That's before the cockadoodle do. I just got stretched, my
Right,
G.
I'm just preparing. As a giant hook comes and pulls it out of the coop. So, yeah, because they were not messing around with it.
Yo,
They
I was
were for sure.
because I thought, like, you know, like how, like, if you got like something and like you have a kid, the kid don't necessarily got the thing.
Mhm.
So I figured it was like that. So I thought, like, with the eggs, they should just sold them as like the maybe sick eggs. You know
Who's
what I'm saying?
buying maybe sick eggs?
What's the price?
No,
You
you
know what I
can't
mean?
say that they're maybe sick and then have a low price. You
Like, if
just
you got,
have a low price and then determine it yourself.
I say maybe sick eggs, like, because you gonna get rid of them. Instead of getting rid of them, say, yo, they're $1 a dozen.
See,
I mean,
this
we
is
got
why you won't become a businessman. You're too honest but to a fault. So you would want to say, yeah, they're the maybe sick eggs, and think that everybody's going to be like, all right, well, I understand now why they're cheaper. Nah, don't give them a reason why they're cheaper. Just say my hookup got me these eggs. Now they're cheaper.
ah,
Let them then wrestle with whether or not they want to buy the cheaper eggs. If they're like, I wonder why these eggs are cheaper. I don't know, girl. They $2 a dozen. Let's just get two and go.
real
See what I
talk.
mean? You gotta,
You
you can't
coughing
give
now.
them right, exactly. You can't give them all of the information.
Yeah, nah, I'm an honest dude. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
so you're never gonna make it that way. you
Yo.
you keep coming up with capers, the capers of a darker man, but you can't do it. You're too good.
Real talk. I just like everybody knowing. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
upfront.
no,
This is why the
that's
price is the
gonna
price.
be nothing but, yeah, that's gonna be no good.
It's a damn shame, yo. It works in my
If you
head.
do it, put it on a sign, put it in the finest print possible. That way you can say, I mean, it was on the sign,
It was
but
on the box. It was on the
but
coin.
don't don't make it big. Don't make the print big.
Yo, but the font color is white. I can't see that on the
Yeah,
white coin.
do that on like a 3-point font in white. Don't make it so that people can actually see it. So that's just to cover your ass when they
Okay.
try to sue you. You did tell them, but don't tell them. Just put it in a place. Come on now. Don't you know how to be corrupt?
I'm not. I want that. Real talk. I'd be trying to find ways to make it part of the name. You
No,
know what I
see,
mean? Like, yo, cop these dirty dozen eggs. You know
that's
what I
you
mean?
going for the joke. That's the problem. You're
Real
not gonna
talk.
make money that way either. Come on.
One of every 12 of these might kill you. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what? Honestly, you could say that and people would be like, I like those chances.
Real talk. That's what I'm saying. I think the upfrontness of it is what people would embrace. Like, I be like,
I don't think they would embrace it. I think someone would try to sue you. I think you could get
yeah,
more people if you gotta pull the wool over all of their eyes, not just the top part. You gotta you gotta pull it like a blanket over them. People will go do dumb things like buy your, flu-laden eggs. They
nah,
absolutely
you right.
will, but they can't know they won't knowingly know. They don't wanna make that decision. So you make that decision for them, but you don't tell them that you made that decision.
No, no, you sold me. I just thought of a product that like I buy
Mhm.
that I don't buy no more, but I've bought. I bought like the $1 steaks at Family Dollar.
What, the Steakum?
They got, yeah, like it's like a sheet.
Yeah. Is it Steakum brand?
I don't know if it's steak and brand, but like
Oh,
they call it steak, but it's $1. and like,
Right,
oh, that
yeah.
don't make sense.
Yeah, it's probably not Steak-'em brand, but yes, it's,
You know what I mean?
yeah, the thin steak,
Yeah, like
yes.
they like it, they like heavily recommend you use it in a sandwich.
Yeah, well,
They're like,
I mean, that's what it's sliced for.
yeah, they're like, yeah, like the this will taste funny unless you cover it in mayo, ketchup, and cheese.
Like, all the salt in the world. That's why I bought Steak-'em recently
Yeah.
because I kinda like it, in a sandwich, and I immediately bought Lowry salt because I was like, "This only tastes good with salt with Lowry salt all over it." Like, I can't don't put your good herbs on it. Don't
They
no
don't go together. They don't marry.
yeah, don't put no oregano on that shit. Put that orange salt on, and then put your feet up afterwards.
You
Cause
didn't see the orange Rowry specific holes on the steak?
yeah, that's
It literally says go here.
definitely. Ugh.
And
Yeah,
other
but no, dollar version of that is sounds wild. Yuck,
real talk. You got
yuck.
dollar dozen eggs, yo. I'm telling you. People cop.
Mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
mm-mm.
Another news, Eric and Lyle Menendez was resentenced to 50 years to life.
Oh,
But
they went through all that? I'm sorry.
Yo, I gotta tell you, I'm enjoying even Shalewa in this episode, yo. Real talk. This does open the door to possible parole.
No, alright.
Judge resentenced Eric and Lyle Menendez to 50 years for their 1989 murders of their parents, ruling Tuesday the brothers will be eligible for parole. The brothers have been serving life without parole for killings. The stunning decision came at the end of the first day of what was scheduled to be a 2-day hearing about resentencing for the brothers who were convicted of first-degree murder for the killings in the living room of the family's Beverly Hills home. Judge Michael Jessic said during the resentencing that a horrific crime was committed, but he was equally shocked by the letters from prison and corrections officers saying it's remarkable what the brothers have done. While they are immediately eligible for parole, Jessic said he is not suggesting they should be released, but one day they should get the chance.
What? Okay.
Interesting.
You know what? Maybe I don't understand law. Now, granted, literally all I know about it I learned from Law& and Order. Like,
Okay.
that's not even, like, Law& and Order and before that, LA Law. Only television shows have taught me about the law.
Right.
Um, so if this makes them eligible for parole, and
Right.
the judge is like, "I'm not saying they should get out, but at least give them a chance." Is that
Right.
okay? Then why not just give them a shorter sentence?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, if you think I mean, they could do okay. Do we think they're gonna do okay later?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it feels I don't know. Not like a shit or get off the pot thing. And again, I don't know. Again, I know nothing about law, but this just feels kinda wild to have gone through all of this again and get resentenced, but this time will give you like a little pocket of I mean, I get that you can't like necessarily just let them loose on time
Right.
served because they did do that, it appears.
Yeah, they're owning it.
And
They
they're
they
owning
are
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're remorseful, they're owning it according to the article.
right. So, um, but was there a way of giving them finite a finite number?
I mean they did 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I
How
mean?
old are they?
I figured they were in their 20s, I think, when they did it, right? Because they
Right.
were like young dudes.
Okay, they weren't teenagers, were they?
No, I think they were
They were
adults, but
in
they
their
were
20s.
young.
Okay. Alright, and that was in the 90s, yes?
89.
Oh, shit, that was 89 that that happened?
Yup.
Yo, I'm old as fuck. Okay. Um,
It's been 35 years.
uh-huh.
One of them was 18, the other one was 21.
Oh, wow, okay. So So they're already in their 50s.
Yo,
So, when alright, so then my question then is, good behavior, clean inside,
right.
um, 50 years, but eligible for parole. How soon does the first when does the first eligibility, hearing happen? How far
Um,
in do you have to
eligible
go?
as of right now, so I'm assuming they could ask for the parole hearing right away.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe that's the trick.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what he's saying. He's like, I don't think they should get it, but they technically are eligible as of right now.
Okay.
I don't think
Huh.
he wants to be the guy that set them loose.
Right, yeah, man, come on. You don't wanna be the guy that let him loose?
He don't want that on his name. He like, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, I look the other way.
Yeah, look, I'll open the door, but I ain't walking through it.
Real talk. I feel like they looked at this and they was like, all right, B. I mean, there's only so many parents that they could kill. You know what I mean? They
Right,
got no more.
exactly. It's like, we were really mad at those 2,
Yeah,
but we good after that. I mean, they
that's it.
gone.
We got no step parents or nothing. Everybody's
Right,
safe.
yeah, so they really kinda did whatever business they came out to do. Oh, boy.
It's terrible.
This is terrible. The way we talk about crime is horrible. Oh,
Oh man. Finally, Biden didn't recognize George Clooney at a 2024 fundraiser, according to a new book. That's right. Former President Joe Biden did not recognize George Clooney when he arrived for a record breaking June 2024 fundraiser the movie star was co hosting, according to a forthcoming book from CNN's Jake Tapper and Ioxis Alex Thompson.
mhm.
Backstage before the fundraiser, George Clooney greeted the president when he arrived after a 3-day trip to Italy for the G7 conference. The president appeared severely diminished, as if he'd aged a decade since Clooney last saw him in December of 2022, according the authors write in an excerpt of the book published in the New Yorker. George, the assistant aide, told the president, gently reminding him who he was in front of him. Yeah, yeah, the president said. Thank you for being here. It seemed clear that the president had not recognized Clooney. The excerpt was published from Taper and Thompson's new book, Original Sin President Biden's Decline. Its cover up and his disastrous choice to run again,
Oh, man,
which
who's
will,
got I mean, you gotta write the history books, I guess, but I don't got time to be rehashing that shit. That just happened.
real
Also,
talk.
you know what? Yeah, he was an old man.
Yo,
Biden is an old man. What do you
I
want
read,
from him?
yeah, like I read, you know how many movie people I don't recognize, period? Like,
Right.
I didn't think that was that wild. Like, I'm not, and George Clooney, dope actor, successful, and all of that jazz. But like, I don't necessarily think he's in like Joe Biden's like pocket.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, George Clooney is deep in the political circles.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, his word means a lot. I mean,
that's
do
that's what's up,
do
yo.
you remember, he wrote a piece before
Shot, whatever
Biden.
you're gonna say, I promise you, I do not remember. You believe in me a lot, homie. Real talk. I learned about George Clooney's political power now, like right here.
Okay, alright. Duly
Yo,
noted, duly noted. Okay.
that
Um,
dude is Ocean's 11 and like alcohol. He sells tequila.
wow, what
That's
a
how I know.
wild that's all you know of George Clooney?
That's it. He's married to a woman smarter than him,
Okay, alright.
right?
Actually, these aren't bad things. Okay, so married to a woman smarter than him.
Yup.
He was in Ocean's 11
Ocean's 11, Tequila
and
Company.
Casamigos.
That's it. That's all he needs. Those are his highlights.
He also was on ER for, like, a bunch of years?
I only know that because when he was on Friends, the crowd screams when he appeared on the screen. But I never saw the ER show, not one time.
Okay, alright, you know what, I honestly, I can let that go, that's fine, I understand, I guess, having not seen ER. But it feels like he also a lot of it's good, it's great, but politically, he's in there. They listen to
Okay.
him. He wrote a piece before Biden dropped out, that was like, "Hey, we need to get rid of him."
I just love that, like, that sentence could have ended there. And
It was just like, we need fresh blood. And so I think his piece kind of had Democrats scrambling of just like, yo, George Clooney thinks which sounds insane, really, when you're saying it. But like, yeah, he holds a lot of sway in political circles.
wow.
And that it was that way before he married the woman who's way smarter than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Go figure.
He
Yeah,
also
I went to his Wikipedia page. There's no way this is a thing. His activism and public advocacy section is the biggest part of the page.
yeah. Yeah.
That's bananas. Like they
Yeah,
show like they like ran through it. Yeah, he was in some shit. But yo,
yes.
look what he's doing in politics.
Yeah, so that's why it would be notable that he wouldn't remember him because that's somebody who, like, I feel like the politicians, like, they have people that they call, for, like, advice. Everyone has someone that you call for advice or just to figure out how things are looking in whatever world it is that y'all are in together. And I think um George Clooney might have been on the list for, he wouldn't be the only president. I'm willing to bet Obama also had George Clooney programmed in his, you know,
Yo, that's bananas.
BlackBerry phone or whatever the fuck those were.
Yo,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's notable, but also, like, I'm willing to bet that what this book is probably trying to set up is that Biden didn't recognize George. George was like, "We gotta get this guy out of here. He don't even remember me." And
Yeah.
so, and here we go. So thanks, George.
Ah.
But yeah, he he was old. He's old. He's very old. I don't know. I guess it's a sign, sure, but there's also just like that this story is being touted of just like, "Biden didn't recognize George." Okay. There are other things that he was doing that could tip us
Yeah.
off to the fact that you know, he's in the twilight of his years. It didn't have to be, and he didn't recognize George Clooney. Because guess what? If you put my mom and my dad in front of a screen and show them George Clooney, who's gonna be able to say the name? My mom only. I think, and she was the one with the stroke, and I think that's only because she watched ER.
Yo.
Maybe, honestly, maybe. My dad would be like, I don't know who the fuck that is." So, like,
If you would like to attend the War Report binge watching of ER so that Gastor can educate himself.
I mean, don't play. I will absolutely, ER is my shit.
Watch party.
Everybody has a medical, I told you this, right? Everyone
Yeah.
has a medical show for their time. ER was mine.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I watched it as it was happening.
Real talk. We got a watch party about to happen. All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you are Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't think George Clooney's a good actor? Nerve of you. I like the dude.
How dare you?
Real talk. He a talented dude.
He's in maybe my favorite movie,
Oh, which movie's that?
Out of Sight.
Huh.
Also, probably the best J-Lo movie. And I
Oh,
say
which
that
one's that?
knowing that Selena is out there, even knowing that Selena's out there. Out of Sight, sorry. That she coasted for a strong 15 years off of the strength of Out of Sight. It's so good.
See, my issue, I like him in a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
but he wears a suit so much that
Uh-huh.
like I can't tell apart which movies are which in my head. Like I don't
Oh,
know. I know I seen him in Oceans. I know I
right.
seen him in Up in the Air. I seen him in Michael Clayton. I seen him
Okay,
in The
yeah.
American.
Well, you
And
saw him
it's the
in
same outfit.
yeah, you saw him in all the suit movies. So you
Yeah.
haven't seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You haven't seen him where he's being goofy.
Nah.
Yeah, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou might be a good place for that. Out of Sight, he is a prisoner, so he's part of the time in prison clothes and part of the time, like, maybe once in a suit. I mean, I love Out of Sight, an unhealthy amount. It's it's very good. It's sleek and sexy and a great story, about a heist. So, like,
Huh.
Don Cheadle is in it, and he's excellent. Um, yeah, I highly recommend it.
I'll
Big
peep it.
Rames, Peter.
How was Wolves, by the way? Did you see that? I wanted to
Oh,
see
you know
that.
what? I haven't watched it yet. I have to be in the right mindset for the bromance of Clooney and Pitt. I gotta be in the right space. And I mean, I love the Oceans movies. I
Yeah.
love those. I love same director as Out of Sight, by the way.
Oh,
Steven
okay. That might have
Soderbergh,
sold
who's
me.
one of my favorite directors.
Hmm.
Also directed the first Magic Mike. Look here, Steven Soderbergh has done some of the best Shalewa-based porn you could do, which is guys in suits probably eating a little dirty. That's I'm
Real
there.
talk.
But, yeah.
5 stars.
Mhm.
You know that George Clooney is so good at acting that he should be in politics. Why not? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's close, pretty much the
Success
same thing.
begets success. I like it.
Yep.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Iron Fist Mom. And also shout outs to everyone that sent articles last week that we didn't get to, that we moved some of them to this week because I didn't get to them last week.
Oh, oh,
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to them. I appreciate y'all. Real talk. With all that said, I am admittedly now hoping to be so successful at stand up that people ask me for advice for things that I don't know about. Gastor Almonte.
do they not do that?
They do. I get a lot of friends that ask me about how mortgages work.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Landlord, yeah.
Like every comment comes to me about how to buy a house.
Okay.
I've told them the secret.
So
You
buy
know,
it from your dad?
real talk. That's it. It's all nepotism or favors. With the ER telethon curator,
Yes,
Shalewa Sharpe.
absolutely.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Got my favorite scene in television ever is
Oh,
in ER.
whoa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It
gotta tell you, this is the most excited I've ever been to watch
it's
ER.
yeah, it's very effective. And I mean, like, ER knows how to hit all the buttons, and you can see it coming from a mile away if you've started watching it or if you've watched any television, or soap opera or whatever, but they do it so well. But they had one thing happen on an episode, and that shit stayed with me for years.
Oh, I gotta watch the show now.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's banana. That's the sales right there.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Real
And
talk. You can see
anyone
why
who's
Shalewa would be
watched
in
a good amount of ER, you probably know what scene I'm talking about.
it.
I mean, there are lots of times where they were like, "Oh my god, blah, blah," but there's, like, one scene where I looked it up recently because of the pit, and,
Yeah.
I saw people talking about it, and they were just like, "Yo, my life was not the same after this scene." I was like, "Yep. Yep, yep, yep."
Yo. And that's why presidents are gonna ask Shalewa for advice before me. Okay, you
Yeah,
watch sold
yeah.
that shit?
I will for sure
Real
end
talk.
up some president's phone.
This has been episode written and produced by George Clooney. Catch y'all next time. Peace.